What is happening, people? That is right. It is No Arquero, episode 8. We are back this week with a Champions League episode. Champions League theme. Obviously, we had Champions League finals, so we're going to be talking about that, amongst other stuff. But right to my left is one of the best, or the biggest Real Madrid fan we have ever seen. He was rooting for Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Good weekend for him.
Yeah, good weekend for him. Good weekend.
Congratulations.
No, not at all. I'm not a Madrid fan. Obviously, for those of you who didn't watch episode 7 of No Arquero, in our little segment of Guess the Footballer, I thought I had a good one. I had Feminine Glad.
You thought he could.
Yeah. I thought I could get them, but they actually got it right, and I promised that if they would have gotten it right, I was going to wear a Madrid jersey for the episode. However, I didn't say for how long, so we'll be right back. Just wait for us. And we're back, like anything ever happened, and we're back in episode 8 of No Arquero. And now, when we get serious, La Quince is a reality. We have a Champions League final between Dortmund and Real Madrid. Real Madrid gets it done with a 2-0 win. And what are your first reactions? We watched the game together at Pitch 25. So
how was that, Gus?
It was pretty fun.
Atmosphere was good.
Yeah, I got to see a side of Guillermo that I hadn't seen before.
Oh, okay.
Which was funny. We'll get into that. But how about you, Jordy? Because you were in Dallas.
I was in Dallas this weekend at DreamHack Dallas. Met a lot of cool people over there. But yeah, I watched the game with some Madrid fans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was interesting. They were celebrating in front of me, of course, screaming in my face. But hey, I dealt with it. Yeah, honestly, I got the prediction of how the game was going to go wrong. I didn't expect Dortmund to completely dominate the way they did in the first 25 minutes of that first half. It was all Dortmund. Adeyemi had that chance. But Courtois, we talked about how Lu Ning deserved the start a couple of weeks back. Courtois got the start in the end, and it paid off completely for them.
Yeah. It was honestly, so last episode I said that I saw Dortmund trying to get that early goal, trying to get just the advantage in the beginning. And we kind of saw that. Unfortunately, very, very close chances. Dortmund were not able to get that first or second goal, which was absolutely crucial for them. They needed that in the second half. We all know that, going into the match, you couldn't just go 0-0 down into those last 10 minutes against Real Madrid.
And it was funny because in the last episode, I was as we were heading into Champions League final weekend, I was talking about Courtois and how I didn't think it was the right decision because I felt like Looney deserved it, and I still do. I still feel like Looney deserved to play this final, but I wasn't sure what the state of Courtois was going to be. And Ancelotti and Courtois just show that he is the best goalkeeper in the world. He came in and he was balling. He had so many saves. He was prepared for this match, and he proved why, even though he's not at the best form, he was still able to perform.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about Carvajal a little bit here. Interesting goal. Off the corner, you don't think someone like Carvajal can get up there like that. But, yeah, Carvajal with an amazing performance. But, yeah, I agree with you completely. I think if I had to choose a man of the match for this entire final, it would definitely be Courtois for me.
Yeah, and we were talking about that at Pitch 25. I was telling Guillermo, I couldn't believe how many balls in the air Real Madrid was winning against defenders, German defenders, one of the most tallest people in the world, people who are experienced in the air, like Hummels and Carvajal, Vinicius, Rodrigo. They were jumping like they were like Ronaldo in the air, they were staying in the air and heading balls, and it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe when I saw that goal. I was like, I can't believe this is how it happened.
Yeah, definitely. There's one thing I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about. I kind of think Vinny should have had a red card going into the end of the first half here.
Okay.
So he gets the first yellow, right? He bumps into
Kobel,
right?
Yeah.
Bumps into Kobel, clear yellow, and then he dives not that long later in the first half.
Yeah.
Possibly could have had a red card here.
But the fact that it was not in a chance, like a Madrid chance, and it was more in a counter attack.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that plays a part.
Yeah.
It wasn't a clear chance where he dove inside the box or something like that.
I just feel like it's too early in a Champions League final. Giving somebody a red card is not really.
Yeah, the ref. I don't think he did a perfect job, but it wasn't.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. I feel like the people were so anxious in the first half that they were mad at the ref, but it wasn't as bad as people actually.
It was just people were just getting mad because there was just so many calls and getting a bunch of yellow cards. But going back to the goal, Carvajal, 32 years old, runs into that front post, just leaps and makes these German defenders look like children, literally.
Yeah.
And then header into the goal. And my goodness, it was funny because before the match, when we were on our way to pitch, I remember telling you, Vicente, like, oh, I think Carvajal is low key, like the weak link. Like, I feel like they're gonna have to catch him in transition. Nah, bro, homie said I'm 32 years old. I'm gonna score in this Champions League final.
Yeah, no, you can't underestimate Carvajal in big matches. Like, he has proved that he is ready to play these matches, and he, even though he's a bit old, like, he's ready for these games. And talking about Carvajal, you know, you gotta also talk about Toni Kroos, Modric, and Nacho, who become the first players to win 6 Champions League.
If you're a Barca fan, oh man,
it is unbelievable. And you can talk about which of those finals they have actually played a part into, but I mean, still, you know, they have 6 Champions League titles, and you know, Toni Kroos is saying goodbye to Real Madrid and to club soccer with another Champions League. So that's crazy.
Margot Royce, his final match for Dortmund. Very unfortunate.
Not the ending we wanted.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Not the ending we
I
wanted.
gotta say, it was funny, like watching the highlights and just like looking into the game. Literally, Marco Rose came into the pitch, and immediately after he scored 2 goals, and it's like, bro, like tough. Literally, if anyone had hopes,
oh man,
they were ruined by that.
Yeah. Now Royce set to apparently join LA Galaxy, so very interesting.
Maybe we'll
very
see him in the MLS, man.
Yep. Would be cool to see him here, especially in the Western Conference as well. You know, they play against the Dynamo. We'll be able to see him a few times a year, so I'm excited for that.
Of course, as we all know, the signing that is basically official, but it hasn't been announced. But we already know that it's happening.
They're ready for the next Champions League, man. They're ready for La Decimosexta, and it is crazy. Like, it's crazy, like the mentality, right? Because obviously, as a Barca fan, you see this, and you're like, with the current situation in Barcelona, you're like, what? But seriously speaking, like trying to be objective, you know, when you look at this Real Madrid squad. And I was thinking about Los Galacticos, right? Remember Los Galacticos? It was a really good team to watch. However, they didn't win much. But this is totally different because they are the best players in the world. So but they're also very young. And this is the locker room that's united, and they are a family. And Ancelotti's ready. You know, Florentino, like the first interviews that he had, he was already speaking about the next season. And you know, this wasn't even when they announced Mbappe. Now, after they announced Mbappe is also with the mentality where he wants to win, he wants to prove. And I wanted to ask you guys, is this Real Madrid team going to be Mbappe's team, or does he have to adapt to what they currently have?
I think this is definitely a case at this point in Mbappe's career where Madrid don't need him, he needs Madrid at this point in his career. This Madrid team this year and the year before showed us that, you know, a lot of it does come down to the power of friendship. I'll be honest, there were games where they had no business winning, but, you know, they pulled through by playing together. And I don't think Mbappe will affect, like, the locker room as bad. You know, I know there's been conversation on social media about, you know, things like that. But no, I don't think it'll be anything like that at all. I think Mbappe's coming into this team with a humble mentality, and he definitely needs Madrid more than they need him.
I do definitely think that it's going to come down to that, like what kind of mentality Mbappe is coming in with, because after the match, I was watching Ancelotti, you know, do post-match, and he was just saying how it was an absolute honor to coach this team, that there is no egos, everybody's on the same page, everybody is just like, and he basically went on like, he loved coaching them, he loved this locker room, so the chemistry is 100% already there. Yep. So it's just going to come down to Mbappe getting in there, being humble, and realizing that he is arriving to this team versus, like, you know, them wanting him for the past couple of years, because it's been a long saga, man. Yeah, it's been a long saga, but Real Madrid clearly don't need him with Champions League.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. This adds more pressure on Mbappe in my consideration.
Oh yeah,
because you're coming into a team that has proved that they don't need you, like you said, but you obviously want to show that you are the best players in the world and that you can make a difference. So this adds more pressure, because if they start losing and it doesn't go as like the bare requirements and the minimum requirements are really, really high.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be hard to obtain for this Real Madrid team.
And before we get into the next segment, which a little preview, we're going to be doing best 11 of the Champions League. But before we get into that, we'll do question of the day.
Oh, yeah.
We got ahead of ourselves, but honestly, I completely forgot about it because Champions League final is Champions League final.
Yeah,
but
that comes first.
The Champions League episode requires a Champions League question of the day.
Okay, I like that.
So, we got the question of the day this week will be, what is your favorite Champions League moment? But it can't be anything you didn't watch. It can't be an old moment.
Uh-huh.
It can literally be a goal. It can even be a substitution. Something you saw with your eyes on TV, obviously. So what is it? I will, give you guys time to think.
I already have mine.
If you already have yours, Vicente, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so my favorite Champions League moment, although you're saying that we had to watch it, I not only watched it, but I was listening to it.
Okay.
I was still in high school, and Barcelona was playing against PSG. And, and it was the second game. The first game, Barcelona loses 4-0 at the Parc des Princes in Paris. And now they're playing at the Camp Nou, right? And, that day, I was still in class with my brother. We're driving back home, and I was listening to the game on the radio. I was listening with my brother because we were driving back home. And I'm telling you, the second I got home and I turned the TV on, Sergio Roberto scored the sixth goal in La Remontada. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, my brother and I started celebrating at home. Like, I couldn't believe that, like, timing was perfect. Like, I'm telling you, like, I literally turned the TV on and Sergio Roberto scored. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, I really thought Barcelona was going to win that Champions League. Because I remember telling a friend, like, if we beat Paris, we're winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
And they eventually lost to Juve.
Yeah, that moment was crazy. I remember when that happened, I was in the middle of an exam in high school, and I wasn't even paying attention to the exam. I was watching the game on my phone, bro. And then Sergio Roberto scores. I get up from my seat and I run outside mid-exam. Everybody's like, what is wrong with this guy? But
It's just everything about that play, like Neymar not being able to send the cross he couldn't connect the first cross.
Yeah.
Then he gets the rebound and then cuts inside. And many people don't know this, but that free kick comes out of the foul on Ter Stegen,
Yep.
who tried to go forward on a corner kick or something like that. So it was unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, I think mine, I'd have to go with 2011. Yeah, it was 2011 final. Barca United. That
Wembley
Messi
too.
performance at Wembley, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. Just pure dominance from the entire team. Just you had the trio of dreams in the midfield. You have Messi and David Villa up top. This was Villa would be before everything happened, and he was still like very good. And then that back line, it was just perfect. Honestly, that Barca team was just amazing.
Yeah, I was surprised in that final that United was able to score on
Oh
Barca.
yeah, with
Because
Rooney.
when Barcelona scored the first one, I was like, this is gonna be like a 4-0 win. And then Rooney scored, I was like,
Tied it up.
what up?
Yeah, but then after that, just
They
completely
couldn't
took
stop
control.
Messi. Yeah,
It was the only team that could just dominate Sir Alex like that every
Yep.
time.
yeah.
Getting in there with a header
Yeah.
is crazy. But I was going to give another Barca moment, but obviously we got straight Barca. So I'm going to be a little different.
Okay, where are you going?
I'll try to be a little different. One of the Champions League moments that just absolutely sends chills down my spine was Juventus facing Atletico Madrid, and they Juventus were up, and Atletico Madrid it was like the dying minutes. Atletico Madrid have a corner, and in comes Hector Herrera with a header to like absolutely just silence the stadium, and it was beautiful.
Wait, this was Ronaldo era Juventus?
Or was it after or before?
It was like
Because Hector Herrera is recent.
like relatively
Yeah.
recent.
So probably after.
Yeah.
Because Hector was there like 2018, 2019 to like 2020 one maybe.
Because when you say Juventus and Atletico, I was thinking the other way. I was thinking Cristiano Ronaldo turning the game and scoring like 2 goals. And
Everyone was talking crazy after that first leg to him.
And the clip of him in the locker room just going like 5.
He's like 5, you have 0.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, if anyone owns a soccer club, it's
CR7 and Atletico.
And Atletico. It's insane.
He also owns Llano Black,
Yeah.
personally.
I just had to give a shout out to Hector because that moment was crazy. Like I said, chills down my spine. Just having a Mexican player score in the Champions League in the 90th minute with a header.
And it plays a part when it's someone from your country in such a big moment and stage.
Yeah.
You know, like if there was a Venezuelan player scoring a goal in the Champions League quarterfinals or semifinals or even a final, like I'll lose it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it will be insane.
So just stuff like that. But on to the next segment. We have planned our team of the tournament. So we're doing 11 with a 12th man and then a coach. We're gonna go with each of our lineups, and then we're gonna compare it to the official UEFA team of the tournament lineup. So, Jordy, if you want to kick us off,
I will
with your
kick
lineup.
us off. Yep, absolutely.
Before Jordy starts, I'll say let us know in the comments what your starting 11 is. But I think this is gonna be a little controversial. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, so in goal, I have no complaints here. Completely agree. It is Kolo from Dortmund. Right back, also zero debate. We talk about the old man and we try our best in our heads to make him look bad, but he's easily the best right back in the world right now. Dani Carvajal.
I'm excited to see what he does in the Euros.
Yep.
Yeah.
For my first center back, another old man who I also thought was not going to do much in the knockouts. I thought by quarters they would be out. Completely proved me wrong. Matt Hummels.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
completely agree with the list so far. My next center back from Real Madrid, Rudiger.
Best
So-
center back in the world.
Yeah. Also, not much complaints there. Left back, though, I had someone else at left back. Now, I think left back was a position that wasn't really talked about too much throughout the entire season. But if I had to pick a left back, I personally went with Guardiola from Manchester City.
Okay. In the Champions League. Keep in mind, this is the starting 11 from the Champions League, not of the season. But yeah, Guardiola, he had a great performance against Real Madrid.
Yep.
So I went with Guardiola. Was impressed with some of his performances against Madrid, against Copenhagen. Good performances. And then after that, for my first midfielder, I went with Toni Kroos.
Okay.
Toni Kroos, my first midfielder. My second center mid, Rodri from Manchester City.
Okay.
Wow.
And for my final midfielder, Savitzer.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is my
That's
midfield.
it.
Now,
Okay.
for the front three, Vinicius Jr., right now, in my opinion, the front runner of the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, and best player in the Champions League season.
Best player in the Champions League. Yep. Player of the tournament, easily. For my second one, I don't have Phil Foden. I have
Nice.
Kylian Mbappe.
Okay.
I know. I
Mbappe.
have Kylian Mbappe, but hear me out.
Well, here you are, seriously.
I know that the last two legs against Dortmund that he played were terrible. Okay, I know he didn't score, but he still created in knockouts. He still had 5 goals. Yes, his goals against who was it? Was it Barca?
Barca.
They weren't good. I know he had the penalty and the little rebound at the end. I get it, but I just feel like throughout the game he was still consistent in terms of creating opportunities for the team.
Okay.
That's why I have Mbappe starting.
Okay.
Okay.
And for my final player, I have Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Which is no debate there. Harry Kane also deserves to be in the front three. And for my 12th man, I have Phil Foden. Phil Foden is my 12th man.
Okay.
Your coach? I think we're
My
all
coach,
gonna agree in the coach.
I'm going to
Maybe
go
not.
Ancelotti, undoubtedly.
Okay. Okay.
Some of the comebacks that they had this season and the knockouts, as always, they're incredible. Ancelotti always finds a way.
Yep.
He is undoubtedly my coach. So
Okay.
that is my team.
That's dope. Okay, I feel like we have the same kind of like framework, but it's still different. So, goalkeeper. I really wanted to put Courtois. I'm not gonna lie, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, you just can't because of just.
Yeah, just one final.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it to Lunin. Giving it to
Ooh.
Lunin, stepping up in the situation. He didn't have necessarily like a shot stopping, excelling moment, but situation he needed to pull up. He did what he had to do. And for that reason, I'm gonna give it to Lunin. Left back. A good way to bring it up, not really defined left back, but I'm gonna go with Nuno Mendes.
Okay.
I think Nuno Mendes is so good. I hated going up against him. He was doing more damage than most wingers in PSG. Anyways, moving on to
I'll
the center
stop you
backs.
right there.
Okay.
Lamine Yamal was hurting Nuno Mendes a lot in the Barcelona and PSG series.
Yeah.
However, with the Araujo red card,
Took him out.
Lamine had to come out.
Yeah.
But he was suffering against Lamine Yamal, so I'm
Yeah.
surprised you put
I'm
Nuno
giving
Mendes
credit
in there.
to Nuno Mendes. And center backs, I think we're gonna have all the same center backs. We got Rudiger, we got Hummels.
Yeah.
Okay.
German duo. We'll see
Yeah.
how that goes, but they're so good.
Puma's not going to the Euros, which is interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
unfortunate. Right back, Dani Carvajal, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
the goal orchestrator. And then moving on to the midfield, obviously I also have a 4-3-3. So my both center mids, I have Toni Kroos,
Yep.
and then I have Vitinha. So I honestly I didn't really want to put Vitinha, but I like him a lot, and I think that he deserves more recognition. Even though PSG went out the way they did, I feel like he deserves more recognition. At Cam, so we'll guess a little different, I would say. I have Phil Foden at Cam because he's amazing. I don't even know what to say else about him. And you could do it anywhere. Left wing, Vinicius Jr., just absolutely lethal for the Champions League. Striker, Harry Kane, of course. Right wing. You heard of this? Leroy Sané.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Leroy Sané?
yeah, he just the matches that I would watch him in, man. Like he was just such a difference maker for Bayern. And there were so many situations where Bayern needed a little moment of brilliance or some kind of tactical change. And Leroy Sané was the guy to put on the other side. Leroy Sané was the guy to break those lines. So I'm gonna give him some credit,
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense. Who is your 12th man or your coach?
My 12th man, I think undoubtedly. I thought we were all gonna have the same 12 man, but it doesn't look like we went for the same thing. I'm Jose Lu. Because yeah. Let me explain myself. The concept of the 12 man is the guy on the bench.
Yeah.
Who better off the bench than Jose Lu, man? He saved Madrid. He saved Madrid and took him to where they needed to go. Without Jose Lu, he's not there.
He scored the same goals as Rodrigo in the Champions League. He scored 5 goals.
Yeah.
I mean, my definition of the 12 man was the guy that just didn't make the cut.
Yeah, it's just like barely.
Barely missed it. So that's why I had Foden as
I mean,
mine.
I get that, but I went with like that other kind
You
of
went
logic.
that other law. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't
If you're using that logic, yeah, I understand completely.
And then for my coach, I went with Terzic.
Okay.
I went with
Okay.
Terzic for my
And
coach.
is that because of the run, or do you think that they actually had a chance in the final?
It's because of the run. It's because they had a chance. It's because they leading into the final. Before the final, they had the least goals conceded throughout the entire tournament. So like that deserves credit as well. And it's reaching the final and the mentality and the players love it. Love everything.
And no, and they showed a great image. At least
Yeah,
in the first
definitely.
half, obviously, when you're playing against Real Madrid, these things can happen. Like when you don't score, they will score on you. But they did show a good image. However, as we're transitioning into my starting 11, we're obviously doing 4-3-3. However, I have a couple players that can play multiple positions.
Okay.
So in goal, I'll go with Kobel. I think 6 clean sheets. He was to me the best player, the best goalkeeper in the Champions League season. He was amazing. He didn't really have. The game didn't demand him much in the final against Real Madrid to make saves.
Yeah.
And the few ones that he had to make, he didn't. But I don't want to make him pay for that because he still had a good run. At right back, I'll go with Carvajal, finals man of the match. Amazing. Like I said, I'm excited to see what he does at the Euros because he's a player that hasn't shown much with the Spanish national team. However, with Real Madrid, you're always expecting a great performance.
Yeah.
For my center backs, I'll go with Rudiger, best center back in the world. And I was surprised you guys. I'll go with Slotterbeck rather than Hummels. I think he played a better finals. Although, this is based on the whole season. I think his final performance made him a little bit better than Hummels in the overall season.
I'm not mad at that pick.
Yeah, Slotterbeck was really good, and I like what he did. And left back, I can't believe you guys didn't consider. And I think it's because, like you said, this is a position that is not discussed much.
Yeah.
Mendy. I think he had an incredible run.
Yeah.
He was able to
Mendy
stop.
was good.
He was able to stop Bernardo Silva, Sané at some points against Bayern. In the final he cooked Sancho. Like Sancho didn't do anything.
Yeah, no.
So Mendy always responded, and I think Mendy understood that he used to be a lot more offensive, and he understood that his role at Real Madrid is about keeping his position and composure, and he doesn't care about going forward. Like, just get the ball to Vinicius and let him do the work. He understood his role, and to me, he's the best left back in the role in the moment. So I give Mendy the left back position. My center mids, I'm going with Vitinha and Kroos. I'm going like you said. I think Vitinha, underrated player.
Yeah.
In this Champions League season, he was incredible. He carried against Barca, and he was the only player against Dortmund, the only PSG player against Dortmund who actually tried to control the ball in the midfield. Fabian Ruiz was lost. Said Emery couldn't do
against
much.
Barca. Vitinha was great.
Yeah.
And he scored. He even got a goal. It was amazing. And Kroos, there's nothing you can say about
Yeah.
I'm excited to see again what he does in the Euros with Germany. This German team can do big things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as we transition into my last midfielder, offensive midfielder, I have Foden.
Yep.
As well,
That's okay.
5 goals in the season. At some point, I thought that he could win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. First few episodes, you were threatening about
and he could have. Let's be honest, he could have.
Okay.
He was
But
playing
obviously-
incredible. He was playing out of his mind. Yeah.
And he's one of the best players in the world right now, and he's got a bright future ahead. Now the 3 up top have Beanie and Kane. Obviously, Beanie 6 goals, 4 assists. Kane's 8 goals and 4 assists. Amazing work from them. Beanie will most likely win the Ballon d'Oro, depending on. I don't think it depends much on the Copa America, but we'll see what happens. And my final player is Valverde.
Valverde.
Valverde as a right wing.
As a
And
right wing.
the reason why I said that putting him there is because he is technically a right wing.
He was
under
playing
this
right wing.
system. Like he can play as a right wing and then come back as a center mid. And he was helping Carvajal obviously defend.
Yeah.
Valverde is a very underrated player. He's the demonstration of modern football, of the modern players who can not only control and have a good time with the ball, but also defend. And La Garra Charrua, we'll get into that. Uruguay Mexico match that I'm sure Guillermo loved. But
Okay.
before I conclude, my coach Ancelotti, I just want to say that the last coach that beat the Real Madrid team in the European final was in 1983. It was Sir Alex Ferguson.
Then-
That is crazy, guys. And Carleto Ancelotti, it's just he owns the Champions League. The guy is able to win it. He obviously has an amazing team, but he deserves to be in this amazing team because he has been able to, send these players in the right path. And finally, for my 12th player, my 12th man, I'm surprised. Did you say Bellingham?
No one
has
said
mentioned
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
No one said
And I put
Bellingham.
him there because he got 5 assists in the whole tournament. He is alongside Sabitzer, the player with the most assists. And he got an assist in the final. He didn't have the best run in the playoffs, but he was very important for this Real Madrid team.
Yeah.
However, I did not like the fake tears in that interview
And
at the end of the match.
PR.
Yeah.
The PR is.
But he's a great player, and I'll put him as my 12th man. I wouldn't put him on top of Foden because I think Foden was more important to Man City than Bellingham was for Real Madrid.
I just feel like we really haven't seen obviously Bellingham has had a season and a half, but I feel like we haven't really seen Jude Bellingham like that. Like I feel like now Mbappe's coming in, he's gonna be able to lose that responsibility up top, get more involved in the midfield, and we're finally gonna be able to see who Jude Bellingham is supposed to be.
Yeah, we were seeing a version of Bellingham that no one expected.
Yeah,
However, it was pretty fun, especially at the beginning of the season when he
Yeah.
started scoring so many goals in the Liga.
it was so weird.
Yeah.
Wasn't fun in El Clasico.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
And the Clasico where he wasn't doing much, and then all of a sudden scores 2 really good goals.
Crazy ass but that's just Jude Bellingham. But like I said, hopefully we get to see a new version of him.
Yeah.
And the international.
Yeah,
But speaking of international,
Wait,
We had-
we gotta compare it to the starting 11.
Oh,
Official
yeah,
starting
yeah.
11. Before we close this, let us know in the comments what's your starting 11. Who do you agree? Who should be in here? Who totally got a really bad team from one of us?
or whose
Yeah.
team is better?
Yeah.
whose team is
Whose
better?
team
Let
is
us
the
know.
best? Let us
Whose team
know.
is the best? And obviously the official starting 11. This is Champions League. They released it after the final, a couple hours after the final,
Yeah.
or like on Sunday.
This is their team of the tournament.
Yeah, team of the
Yeah.
tournament. It's Kobel on goal, Carvajal, Rudiger, and Hummels and Madsen.
Madsen.
We didn't mention, even though he made a mistake, I feel like he's still in the
Yeah.
final.
Yeah.
He still had a good season, so it makes sense
To
for
put
him
him up there.
Mhm.
to put there. Vitinha and Savitzer.
Yeah.
No Toni Kroos.
No, Tony Kroos.
Wow.
I just feel like Sabitzer kind of really
Yeah.
deserves a shout.
The 5 assists, when you look at stats, when you do this, kind of put him in there over Kroos. Vitinha is like the player that when you realize that you got to include more teams, not just the teams right now. But he was definitely
He deserves that shout.
he deserves. Bellingham
In that
Yeah.
camp position.
Bellingham as an offensive midfielder, and then up top they have Beanie, Kane, and Foden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to argue there really, except I guess Madsen would be my only
Madsen, Foden,
semi-complaint.
and Bellingham. I think. are the players for you.
Jude, I wouldn't start personally, but yeah.
Yeah, Sabitzer too, but he, like I said, like the 5 assists
Mhm.
make him. You have to look at him. At some
Yeah,
point.
no, definitely.
And that does it for the Champions League. So like Vicente said, leave a comment whose team was better. But now we're moving on to some
International.
a little bit of devastating
Oh,
news.
boy.
But, I mean, I wouldn't even call it news because we all knew this was coming. Mexico, Uruguay, 4-0 full time.
Darwin. The Darweezy show.
Bro, okay. First of all, we made Darwin Nunez look like Lewandowski out there. All right, like
He is a really good striker. I think he's underrated. I consider him one of the best strikers in the world. And it was funny. Did you guys see that? Uruguay only had 5 subs. It
Yeah.
was the goalkeeper and then 3 other guys.
Yeah.
And then they destroy Mexico. What are your first reactions in that game?
Yeah, man. So leading up to the game, there was a couple of like leaks coming out that Jimmy was not going to use Santi or Malagon as our starters, so they were gonna experiment with the striker position and with the goalkeeper position. So it was kind of looking up. Okay, well he's gonna use our Copa America roster, but he's still gonna experiment with like a handful of positions. No. Jimmy Lozano went out with an 11 that we have never seen before. Jimmy Lozano went out with an 11 that they have never seen each other before. This is the first time many of these players have played together. Of course, we had like the Edson Alvarez, the Orbelin Pinedas. So there was some players with like experience, but apart from that, it was just a bunch of players from Liga MX, which sadly, like Liga MX, like El Nivel, it's just not there. If you want to rival national teams, it really isn't there. So it's just really tough, man. Jimmy Lozano, he's a coach with not much experience, but he's Mexican, and a lot of people really wanted to back him because he was the Sub-23 coach, so everybody wanted him so he can bring in the new generation, and he's doing that. Yeah. But I think he's going out about it the wrong way, because this past match, he was really trying to see if there was a shining light in the dark tunnel to see if he can include for the Copa America Final 11. But like I said, he just went to the wrong way, and it just felt like he just threw away the match completely by putting this 11 together.
Yeah, go ahead, Rodri.
Oh, sorry, Jordy. No. I mean, this weekend we're going to see their full 11, hopefully, against Brazil. Yeah,
I'll be there at the Brazil game. They're playing at Kaya Field. It will be amazing to see. I hope they still I don't think they have yet. But
especially with this result.
They want to break records, but we'll see what happens. However, I would say I feel like Mexico underestimated Uruguay in a certain way.
Yeah.
With the starting 11, with the many subs that Jimmy made, obviously you want to test out players to eventually make your 26 roster as you head to Copa America. But I mean, Bielsa said it like they did not plan this game very well. And another player that had a really good performance was Facundo Pelistri. He's on loan. He's on loan from from Man United to Almeria, and I hope he comes back because he's a really good player and he had a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, he's back from loan now, so hopefully United have a player on their hands that they can add with that roster. But in terms of like the Mexico game, I really want to see the Copa America starting 11 for that Brazil match. Like, I need Jimmy to stop playing around. I need him to just buckle in and really dial in, because the Copa Oro that we won was horrible for La Selección, because from an outside perspective, it looked like we were progressing, like we were winning. But realistically, Jimmy was just trying to keep his job and trying to do the most just to win that tournament, not really having the vision of the Copa America, of the Mundial, and stuff, because his job was on the line. But now that we're arriving and the Copa America is at our doorstep, we're walking in with one of the worst selecciones that we've seen in these past couple of years.
Yeah, and keep in mind that U.S. team that headed into Copa Oro was not the official team. It was like a team full of MLS stars rather than the actual 11 that's playing like in Europe. So that takes apart, especially with the recent history between the two. The United States have been beating Mexico recently. However, I'll say like you guys obviously Honduras, Mexico. Obviously, we didn't plan this. Everyone pulled up with an international jersey.
We just know.
We just know
what time it is.
Like seriously. However, I wanted to ask you guys. Obviously, you guys are part of CONCACAF.
Yeah.
What's a good result for CONCACAF teams in Copa America?
Well,
because oftentimes I've heard CONCACAF people underestimate Copa America.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't understand how difficult this tournament is.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think if you're a Mexico fan, you're worried. You're worried because Jimmy could possibly keep his job just by making it out of this soft group. It's a soft group, let's be completely honest. I love you, Vicente. It's a soft group. It's a soft group. I think you and Mexico will easily...
I don't know, man. I don't
know. Ecuador, I can't sleep on Ecuador. I agree.
Ecuador is one of their best forms.
Yeah. But I think this is a soft group for Mexico. I just don't see how they don't make it out of this group.
Okay.
Honestly, I would be surprised if we make it out of the group.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's that bad.
Yeah, I think Mexico.
I don't think it's that bad.
Venezuela and Ecuador are in a good form, better than Mexico, and I think they have had better challenges, especially in the South American World Cup qualifiers.
I mean, continue.
Okay, so for other teams in CONCACAF, we have Canada, Costa Rica, Panama. For teams like Costa Rica and Panama, and USA, of course. So, in terms of USA and Mexico, who are clearly the big two in this region, their goal is to get out of the group every time. But I feel like for a nation like Panama, like Costa Rica, I think, or Jamaica. I think them just getting out of the group is already a success for the most part. I guess maybe Costa Rica may also have a little bit of a higher standard because past international tournaments. But I think for the top two, in this case, U.S. and Mexico, the goal is definitely to get out of the group and then go from there. Because I don't think that winning the entire thing is realistic, not even for the U.S., not yet.
Not even a semifinals, honestly.
No.
Yeah.
I think a good performance in quarterfinals, and then if you are able to win it, because think about it, if Mexico advances second, they will most likely face Argentina,
Yeah.
Mm.
and they will play in Houston.
Yep.
And that will be a really
Okay.
good match. But I don't
yeah.
see Mexico beating Argentina in the quarterfinals.
So
And if they go first, which if they're able to win the group, they will play the second from Group A, which could be Peru, Chile, or Canada.
yeah.
And I feel like Peru and Chile could battle in that match. So Mexico is struggling. Like I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I think Mexico. I think what will carry them through this group is the home crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mexico, it's Copa America, it's in the United States, it's in Houston, where they never felt a sellout. I think that it'll carry them through.
Yeah.
I just think it's quite unfortunate for the U.S. because the U.S. are like in a pretty good position. They got like some rise upcoming players. Like they're decent, man. Like I'm giving them credit. They're definitely going. The rate that this is going, they're definitely going to win a World Cup before Mexico does, if that even happens. But the thing about the U.S. is if they get second in their group, they go against 1D, which most likely
Brazil.
will be Brazil or Colombia. So that's really unfortunate for the U.S. and that's probably where their story ends.
Yeah. Honestly, Group C and Group D, like Group C is USA, Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia. I don't see and especially the USA is playing against Uruguay in match day 3. So we'll come down to the very last game because they will most likely win.
Yeah.
They'll have like 6 points heading into that final match. And then Group D is Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. Costa Rica is most likely out. Paraguay has been struggling lately.
Yeah.
And then Colombia is balling, like they're unbeaten for over like a year. And then Brazil, you always gotta put respect on Brazil. So like you said, it will be,
Yep.
we may say Mexico makes it first and they beat Peru or Chile or Canada in the quarterfinals. Like we may see Mexico in the semifinals and the US be out over in like quarterfinals.
And that's what I mean. If you're a Mexico fan, you're worried. Be very worried because if you get out of this group and get to the semifinal, Jimmy's staying,
Yeah.
whether they like it or not.
Just to wrap up this segment, obviously we're planning on making next week. We're gonna be making straight up Copa America episode, going in depth in the roster, predictions, group stages, etc. And then after that, we're gonna be diving into the Euros for the episode following after that. But going back to Mexico, just real quick as we transition to next segment, I'm just gonna talk about the 11 that I personally want to see against Brazil and the 11 that I think should be for the Copa America. But like I said, I mean, it's not looking good for the level in general. So, at goalkeeper, I am going to want Malagón, the America goalkeeper. Of course. Very simple. Arteaga, he didn't have a good match yesterday, but that's just a problem with the modern fullback, man. They're just so attacking, man. They forget to defend. They forget to stay back. And that was Arteaga's error last match. So, hopefully, he buckles back in. And then our center back duo of Cesar Monte, Johan Vasquez, European experience. The right back the favorite one is Jorge Sanchez. He plays in Europe, but he's struggling to maintain minutes, so I'm not really convinced. But he's got the level. And then for both holding midfielders, I want Edson Alvarez and then Luis Chavez. Again, European experience. Luis Chavez is doing really good in Russia. And then for the cam spot, I like Orbelín Pineda a lot. He's really good at breaking those lines and disrupting those defenses. Santi Jimenez up top, obviously undisputed. The wingers are like the most controversial topic because we don't have 2 set wingers that can accompany our team. Like
Chino has tried. It's not been great.
Chino has looked awful yesterday. He did not do a single thing. So it's really up to debate.
I can't take this Mexican team serious when Alexis Vega has number 10. Being serious, no disrespect to Alexis Vega, but man, you cannot be Mexico's number 10 as you head into a Copa America. Playing where you could possibly be playing against World Cup champions, because it will be the first time in a while where you will have a World Cup champion in a Copa America.
Yeah.
So
top teams. So.
yeah.
But for my wingers, I'm gonna go with Jordy Cortizo on the left, and then with Julian Quiñones on the right.
Yeah.
No Henry.
No,
Mm.
nah.
Not at all. He doesn't like him.
Yeah,
It was surprising. Like, do you guys think Jimmy and what's his name? I obviously forgot his name right now. What's his name?
Bielsa?
No,
Rafa?
the striker.
Oh, Santi?
Yeah, Santi Jimenez. I don't know why I just forgot Santi Jimenez. You guys think they have a bad relationship? Because against Uruguay, he comes in at the 84th minute while the whole stadium is chanting and screaming his name.
Yeah, that's another thing. So you brought up that Mexico is like, the home stage. Bro, I don't know if you watched this game yesterday, but they were literally, not only were they booing the Mexico team, but when Uruguay was passing the ball, they were screaming "Ole," bro.
It's
That's
hilarious,
our
man.
thing, bro. I'm like, okay, there's no way there's so many Uruguayan fans here. Like,
No.
we are screaming that again. Like, it was
Against each other. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
insane. But going back to Santi, I do think that Jimmy has Santi as the undisputed striker, and I just think he didn't play in this match because of the upcoming matches. I think he's gonna play in Brazil. I think he's gonna start every match in Copa America. At least I hope. So I don't know, man. Hopefully, it's just so tough because if we do bad in Copa America, if we get a new coach, it's like the World Cup is right around the corner, man. It's a tough situation for La Selección Mexicana.
Yeah. But speaking of Mexico, they showed why they own the MLS.
Oh,
Again.
I like that.
Yeah.
CONCACAF Champions Cup final between Pachuca and Columbus. We really thought that Columbus could do something. Unfortunately, they couldn't. 3-0 win with a Salomon Rondon that was fantastic. I mean, he got a brace, and he is heading into Copa America with a really good performance and a really good form. And what's like the biggest takeaways from this for MLS and for Liga MX?
I was telling you, Vicente, before the match, I was like, I feel like Columbus kind of has a chance here. I feel like, and you were like, nah, don't worry about it. Like they don't, but they actually didn't. Like,
They did not know at all.
Which is kind of tough because I was giving them more credit than they deserved. I felt like Pachuca just kind of went out there and really took advantage of that home crowd, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this makes you think about the MLS and just how strong they can make their rosters with these salary caps and international spots and things like that. Do you guys think that the MLS should be more lenient and open more things up just so that maybe they can add one or two more weapons to their teams for these tournaments?
Yeah, they have to be more flexible, but smart at the same time. Because you obviously don't want to give all these tools to the Inter Miamis, the LA Galaxies, the LAFCs.
Teams with money.
Yeah, you want to help everyone out. And I understand that's why they have like salary caps and stuff like that. But if you're smart enough, you can bring investments to the whole league and help each team bring more like backup players and stars.
Yeah,
and they need that in order to win these international matches. Because I feel like for Pachuca, it was a win. We finished the season with a tournament. We put it on our cabinet. For Columbus, although obviously Columbus, they don't like losing, but for MLS overall, they didn't care much.
Yeah.
Like MLS, there were still games going on. I feel like maybe there were more people. I don't know. This is not information. This is pure opinion, but. Maybe there was more people watching Inter Miami, the games started at different times, but I'm sure there was more people interested into Inter Miami match than Columbus playing against Pachuca. So they gotta invest in this tournament because not only it gives you a spot in the Club World Cup, but it's an important tournament.
Yeah.
It's like a continent.
Very important, yeah, for sure.
Like I said in earlier episodes, it finally feels like it's MLS versus Liga MX. But man, the MLS really has to bring cut with the slack and just bring up these teams and market everything correctly. And it's crazy to think about how some Mexican teams will value players more than the whole salary cap of one team that the MLS can have, which is insane to me. But man, I mean, they had no problem with bringing a bunch of superstars to Miami.
Yeah.
So I don't see them being able to bend the rules a little more to be or implement new rules to better the whole level of the league.
Yeah.
Agree completely. But yeah, heading into MLS, our boys took on Portland this weekend. Still, man, we still haven't gotten that win that we desperately need. Coco finally getting a goal. Sebastian also getting on the score sheet. I mean, I don't know what more we can say. We desperately need a 9 up there because Aliu, he's doing his best, but we need more. The Dynamo needs more.
We were talking before the match, with the Salomon Rondon performance, and I also heard this in Soccer Matters with Glenn Davis the other day. It's like, you need a striker, and with so many Venezuelans living in Houston, there is a market that you could eventually like try to get into.
Yeah, the
And
South
bring
American
in
market.
someone like Joseph Martinez,
Yeah.
like Salomon Rondon. They Joseph Martinez know the league, and with Rondon, he has the experience that you want for a striker. So it will be a great signing.
Yeah, a couple Argentinian guys on our roster. I mean, you have Franco Escobar,
Yeah.
but I don't know. They've not been able to market into the South American, crowd. So yeah, I mean, something needs to change in that aspect as well. But speaking of South Americans, Messi, Suarez getting involved once again for Inter Miami, but kind of disappointing result. They don't pick up the win here against St. Louis, a 3-3 draw. But they remain top of the East with 2 more games, so technically not top, but yeah.
I was excited about this match because they were playing with Matias Rojas. Kremaski was playing. Also, Redondo came back from the injury. So I was like, okay, this kind of looks like what is going to be their starting 11 when
For the
everyone's
playoffs,
fit.
yeah.
But they were struggling. Like St. Louis was able to score 3 goals on this team. And this is the last game that Messi, Matias Rojas, Kremaski, Diego Gomez, and potentially Suarez will play before they leave for international duty.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they have the advantage, and you could say, like Jordy said, with 2 more games. But how can this team respond without those players?
I mean, guys like Campana are gonna have to step up, man. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Guys like that are gonna have to step up. The Honduran David Ruiz is gonna have to step up again. Guys like these are gonna have to be able to come off the bench and make an impact straight away. So, yeah.
I feel like not dropping below 5th or 6th division, the spot in the
Throughout the break.
Yeah, throughout the conference will be extremely important, because if Messi and all these players come back and you're like 8th or 9th, it's gonna be so hard.
Yeah.
To
But if you finish after the break like 3rd or 4th, you take it.
Yeah, it's like I read it's like 7 or possibly 8 games if they give them vacations, which they will most likely
They will
give them.
take, yeah. For sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure for Inter Miami. I mean, we'll keep up with them throughout this international break for sure. See how the team's doing without Messi.
Yeah. And then on top of speaking about all these MLS stars or whatever, we do have the topic of conversation in terms of the MLS All Stars.
Yeah, we got voting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on July 24th. So that's another a spot in that time that players are going to be, or teams are going to be losing some of their players.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go over with you like the voting process, because I don't know, man, it's a little strange.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so 12 players are determined by a combined vote of MLS players, fans, and media. So
Okay.
1/3 of the influence each. That's 12
So
players.
like journalists,
Yeah,
Okay.
like journalists, players, and like us, I guess.
All right.
And then another 12 players are handpicked by the All-Star coach, which is Wilfred Nancy. So
Uh-huh.
he handpicks another 12 players. And then the commissioner of the MLS, Don Garber, also handpicks 2 players. So it's like we're not voting for 14 people. And then the 12 that we're voting, we only have 1/3 of a say.
You only have 1/3.
So, I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. And then I was looking at the the front runners for like the voting results.
Yeah.
Not a single Dynamo player in any position.
That third didn't even make the short list, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
But to be fair, do they deserve it? Is there a Dynamo player that deserves it? Maybe Steven Clark.
Maybe
That
Steve
was
Clark.
probably-
I think
Maybe
as a
Steve
backup.
Clark,
Even
yeah.
not even starter. I think as a backup,
Yeah.
Steve Clark would
Yeah.
be my only.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, we knew this was coming. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
The MLS is gonna advertise this MLS All Star Games with the Messi, the Suarez, the Busquets, Jordy Alba, the players like that, because they know that they're gonna be making a lot of money in these games. And once these players are gone, they will move into a more realistic format
Yeah.
where you actually bring those who are playing at their best.
Yeah, I mean, but speaking of no players, Austin, the home city also. Well, not this season, but the
Yeah.
next season. Austin FC also had no players in there. Columbus, I believe, who is the home city this All Star, they do have the Argentinian. And yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, so they're gonna be facing off the Liga MX All Stars. And
Has their voting come out yet?
Nah,
No?
not yet. So July 24th, but we'll be keeping you guys updated as the episodes go.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see who they pick.
Yeah.
Liga MX, we'll see what kind of team they can form.
Yeah.
But as we head into the final segment of the episode and of the podcast, No Hay Arquero, I would like you guys to close laptops
Here we
and
go.
get ready for Guess the Footballer. You guys are 6-1.
6-1.
6-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That resulted in me wearing Madrid jersey. That will never happen. It's the first time I've worn a Madrid jersey in my life, and we are got on camera. Hopefully At some point in my life, I'll be able to delete this episode forever. It will be gone from the internet.
Defamation.
However,
at your wedding.
are you guys ready for this?
We're ready.
I brought a really good player
Okay.
who I personally like,
Okay.
and disliked at some point. But you guys will see.
Okay, that's a clue.
Okay. So the first player that this footballer has played with is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Remember, it has to be a current player. They could have played,
Ibras played at a million clubs.
not same national team or former club.
Okay, so
And they
Yeah,
can
you
ask
could
for
player that he used to
There.
like and then didn't, that played with
Played with
Zlatan.
Zlatan, so
I mean, a couple.
a current player, by the way.
Yeah. I want to say him, but I don't think he was there when Zlatan was there.
Who?
I wanted to say Ricky Puig, but
he was
Galaxy?
Because Galaxy. That's what I'm saying, Galaxy.
No.
No.
But I don't. I think
It was
Ricky
too
Puig got there after.
It was like after.
Yeah. But
Puig
Zlatan.
is such a baller, man.
No, yeah.
Zlatan.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Come on.
Like,
Clock's
I'm
ticking.
okay. I'm gonna throw in Pogba.
It is not Pogba.
Okay.
But they did play at United together.
They did.
I wish. What could have Pogba been, man? It could have been awesome because I really just like him a lot. But the footballer that you guys are looking for has played with Ibra, and he has also played with Coutinho.
Coutinho. Okay.
Coutinho.
Didn't have the best
Coutinho.
time at Barca. Although you guys remember the banger that he scored from, I think it was against Espanyol or something like that,
Okay.
outside the
Yeah,
box,
yeah.
like such a Coutinho goal.
I think it was against Spurs too that he scored like a
Yeah,
crazy good goal. Yeah.
This is tough. Okay, so
Okay.
Coutinho, I mean, he was in Inter first, I'm pretty sure, and then he went.
He was at Liverpool for a little bit as well.
Barca.
Remember, guys,
Bayern.
they
Bayern,
can't ask
and
me
then
for the
Villa.
career of one of the players that I'm mentioning, and let us know in the comments if you guys already have it.
Zlatan and Coutinho. I mean, maybe like a Brazilian that played with Zlatan, but it's just like so many clubs, man. Like,
Yeah, because we also have international too. That's
Yeah,
good.
but
Maybe even.
do you think he's Swedish or something?
Nah, I don't think so.
Clock's sticking, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
honestly, we could just.
Say something, Jordy. Say something, because Guillermo already got
Yeah.
his clue.
Okay, so I'm gonna just throw a Brazilian, just a Brazilian player who played with Zlatan here.
I'm trying to think of like Brazilians that play. I
Fred?
don't think. Yeah, I was
United?
thinking Fred.
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe, but I don't think.
Yeah, if he's giving us that
Yeah,
suggestion, I don't think I
it's
want
like-
to take that. either.
This is like double
Yeah.
bluffing like crazy. I doubt it though.
I recently played poker with my friends.
There
Made $3. Didn't lose money.
you go.
$20 buy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, $20 buy made $3. So
Nice.
Shout out to JC.
All right, I'll take you up on that offer just because I want to know who the next player is.
That's
So
fair.
I'm gonna go
Okay,
Fred.
skip.
Well, not skip. I'm gonna go
Who's the
Fred.
Okay, no, it's not Fred.
Okay.
Okay.
I was okay with that though.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's just.
So you
I need more
guys have
players.
Ibra, Coutinho, and Shaqiri. One of the biggest
Shaqiri
legends.
Bayern. Shaqiri was at
Shaqiri
Bayern.
Shaqiri. Was he at Liverpool? Why do I feel like
He
at Liverpool?
was no. I believe so.
2014 Shaqiri in that World Cup. I remember. It was amazing.
We
Like,
can get
watching
his
him
career.
ball in Brazil.
Wait, what's that guy's name? The center back,
From what nation?
Liverpool. What's his name?
Sacco.
Nah. Wait.
Martin Skirtle. No.
Is he Swedish though?
Martin Skirtle is not Swedish. No.
What is he, like Slovakian or
Yeah.
something like that? I thought I had it. Not gonna lie.
Even then, I don't. He's not a current player anyway.
Yeah, he's probably gone. I don't know what happened to him.
We have a Swedish, Brazilian.
And Swiss.
Shaqiri, man.
And clock is ticking.
Shaqiri.
Chicago Fire.
No, it's Chicago.
No
Let's play with
chance.
Zlatan.
Chicago Fire.
Zero chance.
Shaqiri.
Maybe that Fire. Maybe like.
Stoke City as
Remember,
well.
national teammates, former clubs.
This is a tough
man.
one.
This is a tough one.
Let's
That,
play-
Zlatan threw everything off.
Zlatan because he
not gonna lie.
played at
so many,
millions of clubs. So like,
But he didn't retire that long ago, though.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That final
The fact that he was
stretch
at
of
MLS and then he was at Serie A back,
he's
that's
like, nah.
was Shaqiri also at Milan?
Remember, you guys can ask for the career of anyone.
Because I mean,
There's only 2 players left.
there is only 2 players left.
You guys can always skip and get a new player. Nothing wrong with that.
Zlatan, Coutinho.
Once again, clock
Played with
ticking.
Zlatan, played with Coutinho, and played with Shaqiri. Coutinho,
good one.
Zlatan. Yeah, this is tough.
Let us know in the
Okay,
comments
so
if you guys have it.
Zlatan was Milan, Galaxy. Where was he before Galaxy? Was he United? Did he go United?
He might have
Galaxy?
been from United to Galaxy. I'm not 100% sure. He was at PSG for a bit as
So
well.
many clubs for Zlatan. Yeah.
He was even at Juventus early in his career. Ajax as well.
Inter.
Inter.
Was he at Inter with Coutinho? I don't think so. I don't think those timelines add up.
No.
I don't think so.
Zlatan's way older.
Come on, guys. I need a name. Or you can skip. There's nothing wrong with skipping.
Man, this is tough.
This is hard, yeah.
Okay.
5.
This guy said 5, 4, 3,
Four.
2, 1. Do you have one or no?
Nah.
Okay, then I'll say. I will say
Skip.
Naldo.
Naldo?
Yeah.
Who even is that, man?
Brazilian center back.
Why do I feel... Did he play for Porto, Benfica?
He played for Schalke, I think.
Oh, okay. No, I don't even know who that is, so it's not Naldo. But, I guess good guess. So he has played with Ibra. He has played with Coutinho. He has played with Shaqiri. And he has played with Eden Hazard.
Hazard. Okay. That's a little more of a clue.
So 4 different countries.
Yeah.
Hazard. Okay, so Hazard, you have Chelsea.
You got Chelsea,
Yeah.
Madrid, you got Leon. But that shit was
But nah,
a long time ago. And then you got Belgium. So Belgium.
maybe
Wait,
Belgium.
okay. Boom. Okay, that's the Zlatan link. What about we have Coutinho? Coutinho, does he link with him? I really wanted it to be. This is not my guess, but I really wanted it to be Fellaini.
Ooh, okay.
But I don't see a connection between Coutinho.
Yeah.
And Shaqiri.
Yeah. Okay, Hazard. Belgium. Shaqiri.
Gives you guys a minute to think.
Do you think Lukaku?
Because Lukaku was he there?
He played with
at
Ibra at United, yes.
And then Coutinho.
But
where?
Coutinho.
Nah, I don't think he was. Nah.
I don't think
Not about Coutinho.
Yeah, no.
It could also just. It could also be like a Brazilian. No.
This is a hard one, guys.
This is indeed
This
a
is
hard
weird.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, you got us. You got us good today.
Yeah.
He got us good.
Hazard, Chelsea,
Current player as well.
Chelsea, Madrid.
Ibra. Ibra. Oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, no, this is.
Let us know in the comments once again.
In
if
the
you guys
comments.
have it. What you guys think about this little game? If there was anything we could improve about this segment, with different rules. If you guys would like to see other type of games in here, but yeah, Ibra, Coutinho, Shaqiri.
I have a name,
Okay.
but like, do you think it could be David Alaba?
Alaba.
Alright, maybe.
Nah.
Because you have Madrid, and then he was at Bayern as well, and then
Yeah, he was a buyer for a long time.
But then Ibra, the Ibra link.
I'll give you guys 1 more minute or 30 seconds.
Coutinho. Dude, Coutinho, man.
Yeah, Coutinho's the tough one here.
Unless it's like, nah, it's not him. Wait. Nah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, dude, every
You
time.
guys can skip, and if you guys don't have it, get the last player and just go into the last round of
Yeah,
guessing.
you don't have to guess either.
I feel like the last player will help a lot.
I hope so. Because when Coutinho was there, who was? Because it was him, Bobby, and
What team?
well, at Liverpool.
At Liverpool?
Yeah, when they were doing something.
It was like him, Bobby, Sturridge.
Sturridge.
I think this Sturridge era?
I don't even remember who was the third one. I don't think. Yeah, I don't
Was
think so.
Balotelli there?
Balotelli.
Liverpool?
He's retired though.
A long time ago.
Wait, is he
Yeah.
retired? He's retired, right? Balotelli.
I don't
He was
know
playing in
if he
Brazil
is.
for
I
No,
don't know if
he's still
Balotelli's
playing,
retired.
but he's playing like Calcio B or Calcio C.
Okay.
There were rumors, or not rumors, but in an interview, he was like, I want to play for Boca Juniors, and he was like,
Ooh.
tell Roman Riquelme that he called me, I'll play because I want to play
Yeah.
in a Bombonera, but he's not going to go there.
Nah,
Did Balotelli and Zlatan ever play together?
Inter, probably.
I mean, so it's Zlatan, Coutinho,
Shaqiri,
Shaqiri.
and
Play with
Hazard.
Shaqiri, maybe at Liverpool. I don't know.
Possibly, yes. Yes. I actually do believe they
Remember that you guys have the career of the player.
And then who's our last one?
It was
Shaqiri?
It was Hazard.
Hazard.
Oh, I kind
That's
of
where
throw
it-
us on.
yeah, that's where it muds it, yeah.
And you
Okay,
guys
no.
have 30 seconds. Like, seriously,
No.
30 seconds.
It can't be him then.
Nah, damn, this is
You can skip and get a new player.
tough, man.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not about that. I thought I was cooking.
We were on the run though.
Yeah.
It was
20 seconds.
Brazilian from back in the day that played with Ibra.
And that still plays now. Like maybe like David Luiz.
But with Ibra at PSG, 10
PSG.
seconds.
We throw it, yeah. David Luiz.
It's not David Luiz.
Oh.
Okay, but I mean, I saw the connections, you know.
Yeah, we're
Brazil,
running out of
you know, he
time.
played with the Ibra. You know, he's still playing, I think, at Flamengo
Yeah.
in Brazil. The very last player staying in Brazil is Bobby.
Bobby.
So
Indeed,
I
Bobby.
told you guys I was going to help. Once
Yeah,
again,
let's
you
do this
guys
one.
have the ability to hear
A
the
player.
career of one of these players. So
Okay.
I'll try to think, who do you guys think has played in like clubs that could help you find a
Okay.
connection in here?
So
Hazard, we don't need.
yeah, we don't need Hazard. I don't think we need Coutinho. I don't think we need Bobby either. And then
Between Ibra and Shaqiri, whichever one.
Yeah.
One of those two we would need.
I would-
Probably.
because like Ibra, like I'm trying to think of like I think we know the clubs that you would play at.
We
Like,
have
obviously Barca,
most. Yeah.
and
Let's do
then-
Shaqiri then, because
Yeah,
I feel like
feel
Ibra,
like I'm missing-
Ibra for the most part we know his career.
Yeah,
Just
all
not
right.
the time zones. That's the only thing that could throw us off.
Let's do security. then.
Shaqiri,
Give-
okay.
Give us the
So Shaqiri has played for a lot of clubs.
yeah.
So he started at Basel, you know, for the Swiss Super League.
Yep.
Then he went to Bayern,
Bayern.
Inter Milan, Stoke City, Liverpool, Lyon, and Chicago Fire. If you guys want time, he was on Basel from 2009 to 2012, Bayern 2012-2015, Inter 2014-2015, just one season, and then Stoke City from 2015 to 2018, Liverpool from 18 to 21, Lyon from 21 to 22, just one season, and Chicago Fire 22 to current.
Yeah. This is tough.
It is tough, but it's there. You guys know who this player is.
I mean, okay, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, and I'll give you 2 minutes.
Okay, they gotta think
Think,
about this. It's
uh,
Zlatan.
You guys, I'll
Zlatan.
let you guys ask questions.
Coutinho, Bobby. Okay, so, dude, you really threw us off by choosing two Brazilians that both played at Liverpool. Like,
Those are the
I mean,
type of
yeah.
connections that you want.
yeah, I guess so.
You know,
I just because I don't know if he's a Liverpool player or Brazilian.
I mean,
player.
there
I
are
think
3
he's
Liverpool players in here.
Yeah, so it could be Liverpool. You know, with Shaqiri, I think that kind of lines up. You know, so let's just think Liverpool that played with Zlatan and that is Belgian.
Belgian.
At the
Not
time.
Mignolet.
He did play for.
But I don't know if he's active. That's the
I
problem.
mean, I think he's like in Turkey or something. That's the last time I checked.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But I don't know, obviously, what other clubs he played for outside of Liverpool. I just know he's Belgian and played at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Belgian from Liverpool.
Liverpool. Damn, this is tough. That also played with Zlatan.
Yeah.
2
Or-
minutes. It's only like a minute left.
I guess he could be, I don't know, Swedish that played with Hazard as well.
Swedish that played with Hazard. Hazard, Chelsea, Madrid.
My
Yeah, no.
Once again, let us know in the comments if you have it.
This is
my
hard.
I think you guys are
national team, the Belgians, bro. I'm just going so blank. Wasn't there like a fucking like 78 rated left back at Liverpool that was Belgium at the time?
Nah, I think you're thinking about the Greek guy. You're thinking about Simakas.
Nah, not him. There was like another guy.
There was another guy?
Like back in the day.
Yeah, but nah.
I don't think he played with. Cause he was like bald. I remember he could call it
And
card.
you guys can also give.
I also don't think Vicente would pick an absolute random.
No.
Nah,
This is
yeah,
not a
he
random
wouldn't- he wouldn't
player.
do us like that.
Maybe this is the first time where they give up, where they don't have a name.
Dude,
and-
I mean, I'm not gonna give up, bro. Giving
You
up
guys
is
are
not an
6-1, potentially 6-2.
option. Okay.
With giving up, I would love to hear that.
Settle down now.
Yeah. Let's see.
Unless it's like, no, because he didn't play with Zlatan.
Ooh.
I was gonna say like Neymar or something, but nah, like never Neymar.
No, because when he joined PSG,
And then there's no Hazard link either.
Yeah.
Man, maybe like 30 seconds. Maybe like a Liverpool player that also went to Chelsea that played with Zlatan. Like that's kind of common.
is it though? Liverpool, Chelsea.
Oh, wait a second. No, he's done though. Yeah, he's retired. He's retired.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe cooked here.
Yeah, you guys are cooked.
Maybe cooked.
This is
10
I don't know why nothing's coming to mind, bro.
10
No,
seconds.
yeah, for real.
And
Wait, Benteke.
is that your final
Is
guess?
that your final guess?
Time is up.
It's
You guys have agreed to Benteke?
We'll go Benteke.
It is not Benteke.
Ah,
The
no.
baller that you guys
Who
are
was
looking for that made you guys go 6-2 is Origi.
Dude!
That's why I said I liked it. I used to like this player, but then I stopped.
You don't like Origi?
Bro, why
Because
couldn't
as a Barca fan,
why
you
couldn't I-
cannot like
why
Origi.
why couldn't I think of Origi?
You know,
in Belgium, we said Belgium.
The
for
thing
Liverpool.
is, Ibra threw you guys off because he's
Yeah,
from
and
Belgium.
also I wouldn't have guessed Origi because I wouldn't have linked him to the Ibra.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They played
So,
together
I
at
could
AC
see that.
Milan.
Wait, was
Okay.
Origi, you know, Origi's career, Lille, the
That's
B
also
team,
why I didn't say Origi.
Lille, the first team, Liverpool from 2015 to 2022, and then he went on loan to Wolfsburg, and then AC
How
Milan
long was he gonna be loan for?
one season,
Oh come
It was
on,
eight-
Vicente.
22 to 2023,
Yeah, he cooked this a lot.
Oh, he cooked us.
and
Oh,
now
he
he's
was
at Nottingham
crazy.
Forest on loan.
I didn't.
I got the wrong Belgian Liverpool striker.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Yeah.
bro.
But hey, that was a good guess. That does it for us on Hay Arquero 8th episode. You know, we'll be coming back with much more
Hey,
content
guys.
over the weekend
Yep.
for the Brazil-Mexico game.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we're heading into international soccer, so you will be seeing stuff from Copa America, the Euros, the Olympics too. We'll try to cover that as well because there will be soccer in there.
will be some fighting.
And obviously, Dynamo will be keeping up with that. But that's it for us.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on our socials as always. Follow me on IG at JordyReyes9, Twitter JordyReyes34. I will get rid of the numbers.
GLR Broadcasting, all platforms.
And then Vicente.gar.m on Instagram and BGM091102 on Twitter. Also, Hay Arquero in almost all,
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah,
Twitter,
all the social media
TikTok.
platforms.
TikTok, yeah.
We're trying to invest more of our time in there. It's not hard because we're not used to these things, but we're trying to, not only make more content, but be a lot more active so we can build our brand a little bit more.
Yep. So as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. As always, take care.
See you guys.
Peace.